Namaste and welcome back to Indica Buzz, where we explore the people, projects, and ideas shaping India's living knowledge traditions. We've had a wonderful start so far. Thank you, all of you, for the support and encouragement that you've been sending our way. It keeps us going. Really, really appreciate it. In episode 1, we featured Padma Bharati's an Indica book that celebrates the extraordinary spirit of ordinary Indians. Well, they are not ordinary, as we've discovered in that particular episode. In episode 2, we explored Indica's symposium series with Indica's Kulapati, Dr. Nagaraj Paturi Garu. And today, we are into something very, very different. What we will explore is different for sure, but deeply aligned with Indica's mission. It's a project that captures time, place, and cultural depth in a single thoughtfully curated publication. I'm talking about Mindbook 2025, an annual yearbook from Mindmakers that blends timelines, travel, Indic insights, and curated thought leadership into one powerful resource. With us today is Harita Pusarlaji from Mindmakers, who's been closely involved in shaping this particular initiative. Harita, welcome to Indica Buzz. We're so happy to have you with us.
Namaste. I'm very happy to have this um, interaction with you. It's been a long time, and then I would be more than happy to share my thoughts about this book.
Thank you for taking out time. Let's begin with the origin story. So, what led to the curation of Mindbook? Was there a gap that you were trying to fill? How did it all begin?
See, most of us regularly complain that we are being bombarded with so many facts, which most of the times are mischievously carried out by so many actors, vested interests, which are like a misinterpretation of facts, and then this kind of a misinformation and the propaganda which they have been carrying is doing lot of bad, in the sense like it has been dangerously propagating an idea which is not in conformity with Indic values. So then we thought we should have an authentic data source where like young minds, seekers, and curious people would well upon, and then look into this source and then get their share of Indic facts which are like authentic.
Wow.
So that has been our quest, and then the journey has begun from there, because it has been a very humble journey that we just wanted to shape or create some kind of a narrative, so to say, because narrative is the word like we regularly use, but then we want to give a shape to an ecosystem wherein we have an authentic data set.
Understood. So, let's just say if some were to pick up a mind book for the first time, how would we describe it? Is it like a yearbook? Is it a reference work, or is it a cultural snapshot? Like, how would you describe it to a first time readers, or say somebody who just encounters it? How would you describe it to them?
Yeah. So like whenever we say it's a data set is huge and humongous. We can't address it as it is. We can't take it head on. So we thought it should be incremental. So what better way than having an yearbook? Because we are used to this concept of having an yearbook. And then
Yes.
incrementally, when you constantly shape the ideas, year on year with whatever you want, because you can slowly nurture a kind of an ecosystem or a thought process at least. So we thought like it would be the best would be to have an yearbook, so that we have a time frame. A time frame would also help us to limit ourselves, like what to address, how to put those subtle topics which can be of myth, which are in contemporary context very relevant to the people.
Yes. Uh, I remember this initiative started in 2020, the Mind Book, and Pramod, the founder of Mind Makers, I when he mentioned this product to me, this was then when initial days. So I was like, this reminds me of the Malayala Manorama yearbook. And like in my mind, because growing up as a teenager, that is what I had in mind when I thought of a yearbook. So uh, how is this one structured per se, and what does it how is it different from any other typical yearbook? Let's just talk about the book that I said, for example. So what sets it apart from a typical yearbook?
Yeah, as you rightly pointed, my yearbook has Malayal Manorama has been like the kind of the only yearbook which like most of us were acquainted with, and then
Yes.
it has been quite popular in those days. But like as I would like to tell you, like the first edition, that is Mind Book 2020, has been a trial and error kind of a thing.
Okay.
Like we
Yes.
just wanted to do how it would work out, because
True.
it has been our first attempt as well. So then like we have a kind of given a framework to it. Okay,
Mhm.
we have just laid a foundation, but then it being a COVID year, we couldn't like really bring out the print version. We
True.
had the soft version, and then we have communicated, or we have sent it to so many people. Then we got some kind of a feedback from them, and then we concretely gave it a shape. The skeleton was ready. So from Mindbook 2021, it has been like a print version, and from there onwards, we have just made built a foundation, and then we started building the other things, so to give it a proper structure. So to say that, like being an yearbook, what people would actually look at it is like the content, the information, because like more than anything else, what they look for in the yearbook is the information or the data set, so to say. So what we did is like see, it was like we wanted to cater to wide range of audience, but mostly youngsters. And also we had in the back of mind that we should be doing something for people who want to prepare for competitive exams, because
Exactly.
those are the people who are like most inclined to have these kind of knowledge ready uh, at their fingertips.
True.
So what we had is like we like we had the regular features like the country profile, but everything had its own twist.
Hmm.
Like the country profiles, like in apart from giving the regular data sets like the population, area, language, all those kind of things, the type of government, and then GDP and all that, we wanted to bring in something extra into it. So
Yes.
what we have added from our side is like about the strategic and military component into that.
Okay.
That is like the firepower or like the military power. So
Okay.
we have included that data set,
Wow.
making it into a different thing. And then to as the title itself says, the Mind Book is an yearbook with the Indic perspective. So there we have tried to include uh, things which are aligned with our Indic mindset. So there we have included a special column for Indic religions, like Indic religions in the sense like places of worship of Indic religions. So it had both Hindu temples, Jain temples, Buddhist monasteries, gurudwaras. So that was the first inclusion. The second is places like where which had like a kind of a subtle Indic connect with it. We have emphasized on those. And the third aspect, which I really want to highlight and cherish, is like restaurants. People would simply dismiss, like, what is it? Like, does it make any sense having them there? But then it definitely does. Because, like, recently, ICCR, Indian Council for Cultural Relations, has started an initiative, or they have started giving away Annapurna certificates to restaurants abroad in recognition of like promoting culinary habits and Indian traditional cuisine.
True.
So that has been one of the lead factors, in the sense like where whatever information, when people say that like whatever we are doing is verifiable or not, this is one factor which I would like to proudly say is like all the Annapurna certificate awardees have been cited in our mind.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. So when you go to Baltic countries and all this, like it is an example, just I'm telling you, like those countries where we have our Indic restaurants and which have been recognized with or confirmed with the Annapurna certificate, you can find those names in our mind book. So
Wow.
that's one. We have been certainly mixing the regular thing and then giving them an Indic touch.
Element. Wonderful. I just wanted to understand, how do you decide which events, milestones, or cultural moments from a particular year would you be capturing in the book? So, is there a particular editorial lens that you use for it? Is there a certain kind of voice that you're trying to preserve, and that is what ensures that a particular kind of information gets captured? I mean, because what you just gave an example, for example, of the restaurant, so that is a different element. It's an information part. But when you talk about the year in review section, for example, how do you determine what goes there?
Okay. So herein I want to bring out the connection between the mind makers, that is our web portal, and the mind. They are intricately related. So
Yes,
whatever information or the editorial stuff you find in the mind book has its origins in mind
makers.
makers website. So those have been like the ones which are like have been like editorially well certified, and then they stick to the editorial policy of our web portal. And they it since it being a web portal and a news portal, we regularly bring out all the articles which are relevant at that point of time. So
Wonderful.
finally, towards the end of the year, what we see is we really sit down and then we determine what are the milestone events or the major events that have turned the trajectory of India, and also those events which have made a massive dent in the geopolitical contours as well, in the sense not only the dent, or it has been a turning point for the geopolitical structure as well. So we then collate all the articles together, restructure them, and then reformat them for easy reading of the readers of the mind book. So that way, what we actually are doing is we are not missing out on the events which are contemporary, more relevant, and the things which people can easily identify, and then the things which definitely need an Indic perspective to it. Because like we see that like the ecosystem is dominated by so many actors. Okay, so we need to definitely have a definite perspective which is Indic, in the sense like which is good for India, or what how India can look at that in that broad canvas, world canvas. India should have its own direction. It So this is one thing which can help us, like a compass kind of a thing, where you can like really understand like what are the events which have made a difference for India.
Thank you, Harita ji. Another thing that caught my eye in the mind book is the Indic rating system for temples and travel destinations. So, where did this particular idea come from, and how do you gather this information?
See, it's like instead of looking at that, it's not actually rating per se, but
Yeah.
then it's a constant updation of the things which are happening. Like, for example, in Estonia, they recently had a big Shiva temple, okay, which most of us do not know.
True.
So these are the small inclusions that we are making in our country profiles. Like recently, a Swaminarayan temple has been inaugurated in Abu Dhabi. That
Yeah.
was another inclusion. And there are certain things which I would like to really emphasize is like Indian diaspora is widespread, like it is
Yes.
spread across the world. And we tend to forget, like, other than India, are there any chunks of land where Hinduism is thriving and where Hindus are really, I mean, Sanatanis are really committed to their dharma? So
True.
we will be astonished to find that there are still some certain chunks, certain pockets where it is thriving. Like, for
Yes.
example, when you see Mauritius, okay, that's a living example. So these are the certain things which we certainly we gather all those information and put them together under the country profiles. So it's not just like the regular kind of a thing where you see the climate history and all those things. But apart from that, as I told you, like under the index section, we are trying to collate this kind of a data which has been not like prominently focused, or much attention has been given to all these kind of things. So we are trying to pool those things, since, as I told you, it is going to be a data set. So it is a data set which is going to be permanent, a record of events. Like, so when you see like a 2024 yearbook versus a 2025 yearbook, you
Yeah.
can see all these latest editions.
True.
Okay.
True. True.
So instead, I wouldn't say rating, because like it is doing a
Rather a list. Rather a list of such. Yeah. I.
exactly.
I totally
Yeah.
relate. I mean, many years ago, I had the opportunity to go to Mauritius, and essentially the cab driver told me that I'm going to take you to a Jyotirling. So imagine, yeah. So I said, Jyotirling. He said, yeah. Do you not know that the 13th Jyotirling, only Jyotirling outside India, is in Grombasin, which is called Ganga Talav, or the larger lake. So I went there, and essentially there's a board that says, and there's a huge Shiva का मतलब एक विग्रह नहीं है, statue है बड़ा सा, and ऊपर जाके there's a hillock and all. And when you said that, yeah, there are people who are practicing, so the faith is so profound, and I was struck by the fact that this is something that perhaps I should have gotten to know even when I was in India. I don't need to undertake the journey to realize, how people are preserving their culture, their faith, and even practicing it actively with such fervent devotion. So it absolutely makes sense. And I mean, I'm not sure, but I think this is a pioneering initiative by the Mind team, actually. Compiling this all into one particular data set, as you choose to call it. This is like a whole library in a way. Like it's this, as because as you said that you keep on adding to it. I'm just so looking forward to how this book will shape in, say, the next year or the year after that. Considering the reach out and the soft power expanse interventions by India. So I'm looking forward to the subsequent editions too with great interest. Coming to language, it's currently in English and Hindi. Is that correct?
Only this year we have launched the Hindi version.
Hindi. So,
So we are, yeah, please go ahead.
no. So, any plans of bringing out a multilingual edition in future, bringing it out in various languages at all?
Yes. We are trying to have this yearbook in Kannada and Telugu as well.
Oh,
So
amazing.
these are going to be the next thing. And then there's a small thing like the reason behind having these religious books in regional languages is because, like, as you know, that like in 2023, UGC itself has given that has given has passed a decision saying that like people should be, or students should be allowed to write irrespective of whether they are in English medium or any other medium. Students should be allowed to write their competitive exams in their regional languages.
Yes.
So it
Correct.
would align with that kind of a decision of UGC. So
Wonderful.
that was one aspect which we wanted to have.
Wonderful.
And yeah.
So,
There are few, yeah.
tell me. Go ahead. You were saying something.
Yeah, there's one more thing which I want to say about Mind Makers is what sets this book apart from the Malayalama Manorama is like our center spreads. Okay, the center spreads wherein till now we have featured Antiquity of Bharat. It is based on the research done by Nilesh Ogji and Rupa Bhattiji. Then we have featured center spreads wherein Chandrahas Halaiji, the renowned mathematician who has been tirelessly striving to bring about Indian contributions to mathematics. We are featuring his work as well. Like this yearbook has Capricorn constant, which many of us do know. Earlier we featured about Leelavati. So these are small things, and before that, like every year we, apart from featuring this Indic knowledge system, we are also bringing about like or trying to highlight the works done by certain organizations, people, and some unsung heroes. like uh, in one of our editions, we have extensively covered about Vijay Kumarji and his work on restitution of idols. And then, we in one of our editions, we focused about we highlighted the work of Brihat. And in our recent edition, that is 2025 edition, we have brought about we focused on the work of FIHCR, the initiative of Vikram Sampath, who is trying to create some kind of an interest in Indian history, and then wanted to highlight why it is essential that we need to have our own history, which is well researched and give it an Indic touch to it. So that's one thing. So these are the things which we are which sets this thing apart from the existing yearbooks.
Understood. So, who would you say this typical reader for the book would be? Yes, you said that there would be aspirants who are wanting to sit for the UPSC exams, competitive exams. But besides them, do you think this was designed for the Indian diaspora, or do you think researchers or teachers or libraries or students? Who do you see as a typical reader for the Mind book?
Yeah, first it's going to be the UPSC aspirants. I forgot to mention, because we have a section dedicated especially for people who wanted to attempt, who want to write competitive exams. So other than having all these things in paragraphs and all that, we also have data at glance. Okay, about the current affairs and things like that. So it majorly caters to that. And apart from that, it is for knowledge seekers and Indic minded people who want to look at it. See, it is a compendium kind of a thing, but it is an annual overview of all the things that have happened in that specific year. So it should be a must for library. And then another thing which I would like to emphasize is we are bringing out original research of some of the Indic scholars, especially related to chronology, and then we are publishing it in our Mind book. So it is to create some kind of interest and awareness among the youngsters. And another major addition to this yearbook is book reviews. Okay, so the book reviews, apart from giving you the book recommendations, it has a detailed review of the book. For example, this year we have a book review on Meenakshi Jain's Vishwanath Rises, and then her book on the British makeover on judiciary and Indian education system. So these are the certain things which we want to highlight, because this is another kind of a this is another segment which has been ignored, because it's only like through having this kind of a book that we want to provide an we want to highlight how many people and then researchers or historians with Indic background are trying hard to create an ecosystem, so that our future generations will develop a positive perspective about India and take pride in India, its civilizational heritage.
So
So
beautiful. So beautiful. You've actually answered it, but still, just like a sum up thing. So, finally, for anyone who's tuned in right now to our conversation, one thing or one reason why they should consider picking up Mind Book 2025. So, what's your message to potential readers?
it's a book it's a book with Indic facts by Indics. So like you can gift it, people will remember it, remember you for a lifetime, and then you can have it on your book rack, and your children, or it's like posterity. Like a book is something which is a gift which we like cherish having it. So a ready reckoner for you at any point of time. Like pick a book like what happened in this particular year. So you pick up that book, just go through it, you will get an idea like what has happened in that entire year. So
Wonderful. Thank you so very much, Harita. This has been an enriching conversation. At Indica, we are really happy to support efforts like this that contribute to a more informed and culturally grounded public discourse. To everyone tuned in, Mindbook 2025 is available in both digital and print formats, and we'll leave the links in the description so that you can buy it, either of the editions. And we would really request you to consider not just buying it for yourself, but gifting it to people who might benefit from it. Which brings us to the end of this third episode. Just one of the many conversations that we are curating here at Indica Buzz for you. We'll continue to feature people and projects producing, promoting, preserving, and propagating Bharatiya knowledge in meaningful ways. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and more importantly, stay rooted. Namaste.